Hi everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps real fast. ABC News was like, our coverage starts at 4, and I thought that's great. They're not going to cut in. Lovely. But their coverage actually started at 3:56. So, I don't have the last 2 minutes, 1 minute of General Hospital, which is fine. I know it's a historic visit. My issue isn't with that. My issue is with the lying now. But anyway, oh God, they can't win with me. Ever since the 50th, I am like so done with them, just saying. But anyway, let's get to today's recap because I'm sure you're all, whoever got cut in is just as angry as I am. Mostly about the lying, not about the actual cut in, but about the lying about it. Anyway, let's get right to it. Right, E-Cat? Right. At Julian's place, Alexis is really putting a lot of stock in Paul, so that's going to be fun when it crashes and burns. And Julian tells Alexis that Patrick proposed to Sam and everything that happened, and then decides that he thinks that Sam is better off with Patrick, you know, a reputable surgeon, than she was with Jason, an enforcer for the mob. And Alexis kind of calls him out on his hypocrisy, and he's like, whatever. At the pier, Paul and Ava meet because that is where all the sketchy thing happens. Seriously, the police should just put like a surveillance camera there, that like, or just put a camera there. Like seriously, just do something because all sketchy things happen there. And Paul arranged a meeting with the 5 families, and she's gonna sit at the table as the head of the Jerome family. And she doesn't want to go public as head of the organization because she wants to get her daughter back, and she feels that that will put her in jeopardy. And he says that he can vouch for her with any judge, and she's like, you really think you have that much pull? And he's like, yeah. And Paul thinks that no one is going to be there to represent the Corinthos organization. Ava's skeptical about that. She can't imagine that Sonny wouldn't send someone. But Paul's like, yeah, no one will be there. You can take charge. It'll be great. That's my Paul impression. So Paul wants her to point the finger at Julian at the meeting, and she's like, I don't want to set my brother up to die. You know, what if I just tell them about you and, you know, bring up your name? And he's like, well, I put precautions up in case of betrayal, so you can try, but see what happens. So, of course, you know, Ava's Ava, so her reservations about setting Julian up will probably just last for another 5 minutes. Who knows, because they cut the last 2 minutes off. At the hospital, and it's a Friday episode, but anyway, okay, so at the hospital, sorry, Rick shows up, and he wants to talk to Sonny about, and Michael and Morgan are like, our mom is in there right now and is talking with him, so you'll have to wait. And they want him to get this Ava thing taken care of, but the courts are closed and he can't do anything right now. And he says he needs to talk to Sonny about who shot him, and that it's very timely, and he needs to talk to him now. So they're like, well, anything you can say to him, you can say to us. So what were you going to talk to him about? So after some hemming and hawing, he finally tells them about the 5 families want to sit down tonight and have a little meeting. And Rick wants to go to represent the family, and Morgan's like, haha, that's funny, no. And Michael tells Rick that he's not gonna go to the sit down. Like, Rick is not gonna go there to represent the family, and his, you know, his sole job is to keep Ava away from Avery, and that's what he's gonna go home and focus on right now. Okay, like, I love Michael. I love Michael. Like, you have no idea. So Morgan says, you know, I'll go to the sit down, I'll do it. And Rick brings up that Morgan's a hothead, and, you know, one wrong word, one wrong move, and the family loses all credibility and all standing. So Michael makes it clear. He's like, Rick, you have one job. Go take care of this Avery thing. Michael tells Morgan, and Morgan's like, haha, I win. And Michael's like, no, you're not going to the sit down. And Morgan's like, but I'm his son. And Michael's like, yeah, but you're gonna throw a tantrum, so no. And Morgan's like, I'm not gonna, and Michael's like, stop it right now. He's like, I'm the one who's been dealing with all the guards. I'm the one who's been increasing security. I'm the one who's been in all this. Dad's people respect me, and I'm gonna go represent the family. And I'm like, yes, I'm so into Mob Michael. You have no idea. I am so into this right now. So I'm so excited. I really am. So Michael makes the case that, you know, he's not going to get emotional or vow revenge. He'll just sit there, represent, put in a good word, show that the family's strong. He's able to do that. Also at the hospital, Carly has to tell Sonny that the charges against Ava were dropped and tell Sonny that Rick lost the recording and his job. But really, Scott lost the recording, but I know she's not a big fan of Rick, so she's not gonna, like, make excuses for him. And then Carly tells Sonny, like, everything. Like, all of it. And Sonny's like, well, we should fire Rick because this was supposed to be a slam dunk. And Carly's like, fun story. We can't. Because Ava's coming after Avery, and he's the lawyer on the case, and we need him for that. So, Sonny's, like, not happy about this whole Ava's coming after Avery thing. And Carly finally gives Avery to Morgan to take her home. I don't think Michael or Morgan told her or Sonny that there's a meeting and that Michael's gonna go to it. But Sonny vows to do whatever it takes to keep Ava away from Avery. And that says if the justice system doesn't take care of her, he will. And I'm like... Also at the hospital, Elizabeth calls her grandma to tell her that they set a date for the wedding. Patrick overhears because that's what Patrick does. I'm sorry. That wasn't fair. That really wasn't fair. I have to pick my battles against Patrick. So Patrick tells Elizabeth that he's envious of her, that her and Jake have it all figured out, and Elizabeth's like, well, what's stopping you? And Patrick's like, tells her Jason. And now, personally, I don't think it's appropriate for Patrick to be telling Elizabeth all of this, like, because this is, like, a private thing that happened, and, like, I get, you know, Sam telling, like, her dad, like, that's family, but, like, I guess Elizabeth's, like, Patrick's best friend, but, like, I don't know, like, doesn't it seem, like, kind of personal between two people that, like, maybe not appropriate for him to telling Elizabeth? Anyway, whatever. It's more about, like, Sam's feelings, like, it's not, if it was his own feelings about, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, he's, like, telling Elizabeth what Sam told him. I don't know. You know what I mean. I'm gonna move on. So then Elizabeth is like, how's Jason stopping her? And he tells her that he proposed. Elizabeth's like, oh my god, that's so great! Patrick's like, yeah, but she said no. And Elizabeth's like, but she loves you. That's not right. You have to get married. Blah, 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 blah. Tells her that, you know, it was the night before her and Jason's wedding anniversary, so the timing wasn't right. But now Elizabeth is worried they're gonna break up because, of course, if Sam and Patrick aren't happy, she loses half of her rationale for keeping the secret. And Patrick tells Elizabeth that he's skeptical if Sam can move on, and Elizabeth gets really upset, like really upset. And she's like, no, you have to be together, you love each other, your families are together, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not even exaggerating, like this is how she was, you don't even understand. If you didn't see today's episode. And Patrick keeps saying that he thinks Sam will always be in love with Jason. And, you know, what if she thinks that her, you know, Patrick and Sam won't compare to Jason and Sam? And, you know, is that something he wants to live with? And then Elizabeth is like, no, it was just the timing. It was just the timing. I'm sure if you ask again, she'll say yes. And Patrick's like, well, you know, okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Cool, but why are you so intense about my relationship with Sam? And unfortunately, I don't have that answer for you today because they cut off the last few minutes and they lied about it. At Noodle Jake shows up. And Sam's like, wow, didn't expect to see you here. And he tells her that he's picking up food for Michael and the family. And Sam's like, why did you come here? And he's like, oh, well, it looked like a really cool place. Do you like it here? And Sam's like, yeah, I actually got married here. So she's telling him about the wedding and how it took on a life of its own. And it became less about the marriage and more about, like, the flowers, this and that. And it was more of an excuse to have a party rather than, having a wedding. So, she's like, yeah, we wound up, you know, me and Jason, like, I got on the back of his bike and we just drove off and we wound up here and, like, got married here. And they, you know, they just took a drive to clear their heads. And then Jake starts to remember her standing there, getting on the bike, and then them driving away. So she's like, hello, where are you? And he tells her that he remembers her being on the back of his motorcycle. And he's like, yeah, but you know what? It's probably just the time I drove you home, you know, from the body shop. And she's like, yeah, that's probably it. And I'm like, that's not it. You know that's not it. Like, he knows. Okay. I think, like, we're all like, who's gonna, you know, tell the secret? Who's gonna find out first? Like, you know, who's gonna be the one to blow this whole thing open? I'm thinking Jake might be the one that blows this whole thing open. I think he might realize he's Jason Morgan before other people know it for sure. I don't know. I'm starting to think it's very evolving. This is very exciting time in General Hospital, not gonna lie. So then she tells Jake about how she turned down Patrick's proposal, and she tells Jake that, you know, like, kind of goes in, oh, it was 4 years, to the day that, you know, I got married, blah, 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 and then she, you know, the figurines are on the table, the Phoenix and the Dragon, and she tells Jake that she brought the figurines so she could find a way to go full circle with Jason and to be able to let him go, and he asks her if it's working, and, you know, at this point, I'm like, I don't care if she says yes or no, because the answer is no, it's not working, because she knows in her heart, she knows he's alive. So he asks her if she thinks she's keeping Jason alive somehow by holding on so tightly to him. And I'm like, oh, please, of all the people to be the one to, like, convince her to accept Patrick's proposal, let it not be Jake. Like, please let it not be Jake. Okay, so end scene. It's not going to be satisfying. I only have a few things because, again, 3:56, which is not the same as 4 o'clock. I don't care what anyone out there says. So the sit-down commences. Really exciting. Michael's at the table, and he's all, like, in black and everything. Like, okay. And he gives his name as Michael Corinthos III, and I was like... And then, you know, it cuts to the hospital. Carly tries to keep Sonny within legal means and also tells him to marry her right now at the hospital, and that's going to help them out. And my mom has been saying that for, like, the past, like, week or so. He's like, just get married, and then, like, Carly will be involved in this whole thing. And I'm like, you're right. You're really right. And then... back at the meeting, I wish I had more, I'm sorry, they welcome him, and they're having a moment of silence for Serge, R.I.P., and then Ava, like, kind of barges in the middle of the moment of silence, and sits down at the table, and, then the news cuts in. I'm sorry. I, like, was really looking forward to that moment of realization when she's panning around the table and sees Michael right across from her, and it's like, uh-oh. Because, oh my god. So, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. I am going to try to find the end. It goes on demand. If you have Comcast Xfinity, General Hospital is on demand. The ABC Watch app, I think you have to, like, have some kind of, like, account with, like, whatever company. I don't know. I really don't know. But if you can get the app, try to sign in with it. ABC Online, you can watch, I don't think you have to have an account to watch TV shows through abc.com, and what other legal means are there to watch a show. I'll let you know when I'll see. I think it's going to go on demand. I have a huge weekend, so I don't think... I think we're all going to have to just find a way to watch it on our own. But if you rely on my videos, what I will do is I'll watch the end of this, and at the beginning of Monday's recap, I'll tell you what happened at the end of this one. Does that work for everyone? I think that's, like, the best way I can do it. So that's what I'll do. I'll make sure, like, get it in there. I'll watch it Sunday night. I'll write notes, and I'll get it to you. I promise. And I will see you on Monday for more General Hospital. It's not a holiday, right? I'm not good with holidays. But in any event, I will see you Monday for more General Hospital. I hope you have a great weekend. I know I will. If anyone's in New Jersey, we're going to be at a street fair selling stuff for the rescue group and everything. So if you're interested in raffle tickets or something like that, you can get in contact, allcrittersrescue@yahoo.com. But in any event, I will see you Monday for more General Hospital. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye!